Hey guys, what's going on? This is Cody at MP Rail, and today we're going to be taking a look at doing a little bit of work on the bench. So I've just started, in my last video, kind of started doing a couple pieces of track work, kind of started laying a little bit of that down. And in this video, I just kind of want to show you kind of what I'm doing for, I guess, the top of the bench work. So I pretty much got a nicer piece of plywood and basically ripped it down to get the sides here. I did 3 inches thick, pretty much for my box. And with that, I was initially going to just do pink foam on top of that, but I decided I kind of want something to be able to screw underneath, whether I use tortoise switches or if I use like the Walters switch machines, or if I decide to go like Arduino and use that stuff. There's so many different options that you can do. It's very overwhelming. But not thinking about that, I was just going to show you guys real quick, just kind of me drilling some holes. I like to pre-drill my holes, that way I don't kind of split or crack the wood, so I always recommend doing that. So basically I've got a number 6 drill bit here that's essentially got kind of the countersink part in it. And you can kind of, extend the drill bit if you need to, or replace the drill bit if you need to. In this, it's just got a little key lock here. And then just regular Phillips head bit. And then I've got some drywall screws, but I mean, realistically, you could probably use kind of whatever you want. I had some drywall screws on hand, so I figured I'd use these. And these seem to be about the right depth. If I were to like take one of these out, it probably goes down, and I'm just going to be screwing the wood top down essentially into the base here, pretty much where I've got the horizontal essential slats that essentially make the box. I'm going to be kind of drilling this top down into that. So and I've got that kind of in a few spots because I've got a little side door, kind of like a little midget door, that's right here. You can't really see it, but essentially a small white door right here, just a crawl space access to get back behind here. All right, cool. So I think first things first, what I'm gonna do is I'm essentially gonna just take the pink foam off. All right, so I've got that removed. So the next step is I'm just gonna go ahead and put my drills and everything kind of up here, so I've got them all. I'm going to kind of push on the plywood here, just kind of make sure I've got it tucked in the back here, which I do, so it is pretty much level, or flush, I guess, with the side here. So I guess next steps are I'm going to grab my T-square and throw a bunch of random stuff everywhere. I'm just going to grab this just so I can kind of mark down my my lines. Kind of start down here. That way hopefully you can see. But I'm essentially just going to mark this. So here's that one. And then got this. And I'll kind of do like alternating screw holes and stuff here. And then I'll probably put at least one in the corner and maybe one in this corner to get on kind of the back wall. That way I can kind of make sure that it's locked in back there. And the way I build it, this is essentially just a front plate over here. So I don't really have this in the back on the door because I still wanted to be able to access the door. So I had to kind of leave that open, and the only thing you see really is the molding. So yeah, so let me just go ahead and kind of mark these, and I'll probably put, like I said, screws in the back there. So this is really just going to be this one here probably. This is just going to be the edge over there. And then this guy right here. Okay, so I kind of have those marked, and then I'll just kind of eyeball, you know, kind of putting some towards the back as well. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start kind of drilling some holes. And then once I get some holes drilled in, then we'll start putting screws down and basically secure the top to the base, or the top to the kind of the frame or structure. And at that point, then we can put our caulking on top of this. And this one over, the pink foam that I did over here, I already kind of did that section. And I didn't necessarily spread it or anything. So let me know, I guess, you know, in the comments below, like what you guys would do. That way I kind of know what to do for maybe the rest of my layout. But I was probably just going to kind of spread it in kind of an S shape and probably just throw the foam on top of that, and I think that'll probably hold it down pretty good. I mean, if I was going to have this like a mobile layout or something, then I'd probably like spread it out and get like a real good coating and everything, but it's not mobile, it's permanent, so it's not going to go anywhere. So cool, let's get started. And I always like to kind of check underneath just to make sure that I'm not getting it too far, you know, out of whack or anything like that. Grab my step stool. We'll kind of eyeball this back here so that way we can make sure we get one. In the back, and then pretty much at this point I'll probably just do this for kind of the rest of these, and I may just time lapse it or kind of speed it up. That way it doesn't bore you too much. And then, yeah, basically just kind of do that, and probably end up showing this one here on camera since this one's probably a little bit closer. Alright guys, so I'm going to just kind of drill some holes. I already kind of drilled these holes here, but I don't think you were able to see them that well, so I'm going to drill some holes here, and this is essentially is this two pieces of wood? No, this is actually one, so I'm just going to go on the left side of this line and follow that line down. So and I'm just going to check underneath just to make sure that I'm actually hitting those. And it looks like I'm doing a pretty good job. So I'll just kind of drill, probably grab my stool here and probably put another one kind of back here towards the back as well. Just to kind of make sure that I'm gonna have that in there pretty good. And then I'll kind of do some across the front as well, just to make sure the front's secured in. And then I'll try and put some kind of in the back corners, but I'll probably have to do those kind of at an angle, which these ones being back here may actually hold it down pretty good, so I may not need to do that, so we'll see. All right. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm just gonna take my vacuum cleaner, kind of get up the debris from drilling the holes and stuff, and then at that point we'll be pretty much ready to put down the caulking, or essentially the glue for the pink foam to the wood, and then yeah, we'll glue that in place, and then we'll be ready to start laying some track work. So we'll catch up with you here in a second. Alright everybody, so I've got tabletop pushed back, I've got the holes screwed in, or the holes drilled, pre-drilled, and then I've got my drywall screws, the 1 1/4" screws, pretty much kind of put in place, and I'll probably grab maybe a few more and kind of try and put them along the edge or something like that. I thought I had a longer bit. That might be the longest. Yeah, it's actually the longest one that I've got, so we will just go with that. But I'm gonna go ahead and kind of drill these in, so I may just do a, I don't know, a simple little time lapse or something, or it might just speed up the footage of me just kind of putting these guys in. So let me go ahead and get going on these. Pretty much have those first few ones put in. Get this one down here in place. Okay. I don't know if I really need to put one in back there. I don't know, I may try, but I don't really know if I need to. So let's move the camera over here, that way you can just kind of see me kind of putting these last few in. Sorry for the light. Don't have the best lighting in here. Grab my little step stool here. I don't know if I want to try and put one in there or not. It feels pretty flush. I kind of wish I had a way to put one in right there. Definitely don't. So I may just have to kind of drill a hole in an angle back in this corner. Probably not going to work, unfortunately, because I think my drill bit just broke. So well, that's a bummer. There's a drill bit down. Definitely just broke that off, but it is what it is. Just like to being able to kind of pre-drill, but I pretty much got everything kind of put in. So I'm going to vacuum up that back corner just a little bit real quick. And I'll just kind of make like an S pattern essentially. I might need to clear, I don't know if I need to unplug, clear that out. Nope, we're good. This probably is not what you would do, but this is just going to be what I'm doing here. Kind of complete that back up. And I'll move this down so that way you can kind of see. This might be kind of excessive and a lot, but I don't really have much else use for this. Put a nice little bead kind of along the edge here. And that's about that for that can right there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just take the piece of foam that I had and try and kind of put it back up top and get it kind of back up here. But I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm not really going to spread it out or anything. And then once I do this, then I'm pretty much done. And I'm just going to transfer my boxes or containers of train stuff, train cars, engines. I'm going to transfer all that from that piece that's been drying for 24, 48 hours, or it's been pretty much about 24 hours. So I'm just going to transfer all that stuff over here. Might start kind of working on laying some more track, but still need to get probably a few more switches and stuff, and then I'll probably lay some more track and whatnot. I may end up working on kind of this area here, kind of in the far back. But yeah, that's pretty much that. And let me go ahead and get the foam back up. You can see that. So yeah, it's pretty much level across the board there, and like I said, I'll I'll just go ahead and kind of transfer my containers kind of over, and that's pretty much it. So we'll just kind of keep some weight on it for 24 hours, and yeah, we'll be good. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. See ya.